So with 7th Time Loop the Villainess now over, no Season 2 announcement as it stands, I think we really need to talk not only about this final episode, but the show as a whole. I jumped aboard on episode 4. I think when episode 4 dropped, I watched 1 through 4 if my memory serves me. And I was shook. I was like, wow, this is great. I mean, shit, people can argue, is it a Villainess show or is it not? I mean, it's in the damn title, so I mean, at that point, you kind of should have luck whatever you feel. But to end this, it's interesting because everyone had so many different theories about where we would go with this whole Professor plotline. A lot of people brought up Black Powder. A lot of people brought up fireworks. But it's like everyone's theories were kind of right, but it was the combination and how they went about the execution of all this that no one quite got right. And to leave this show, say they never do a season 2. This is all we get. Would I be satisfied? Would I say this is as close to a perfect season as I would want? That the open-endedness of it gives me hope for the future that they will succeed? Yeah, because if we're being honest, even if a show like this got a season 2, this isn't the type of show that would get a full adaptation more than likely. Let's be brutally honest, not a lot of anime get that these days, and a show like this probably never would. So, you have to consider, while there is definitely points I would like to see reach, why a season 2 or 3 would be great, because I'd love to see them married, I'd love to see them really have a beautiful relationship, but if you aren't being greedy, and you just really look at what they accomplished with one season, you could leave it here and be good. At least I know I could. And the fact that they pulled the rug from under my feet with the intro of the show, with Theodore, which I'm still shooketh by how they turned that little shit into such a lovable guy. The professor, this dude was pure psychopath energy. And you show this man a little explosion in the sky, and we redirect him into a more, and it's brilliant, right? Because these are the types of character writing moments that separate an average or good show into a truly amazing one. The whole point of Arnold's character is that he feels like he's destined for the chaos that we know happens in the future. But if you show someone that their skills are useful for more than just murder and death, and that they can be kind and beautiful, then there's hope to change that future, which is what a good woman like her's doing to this man as he sees something that, yes, it's black powder, but look at how beautiful it can be used for. Not only did you salvage the professor and use this beautiful reverse Uno on him, Kyle's area's good, professor's good, the ring scene, this show legitimately was a hidden gem. Snuck under the radar, blew expectations away, and while definitely undervalued in terms of a lot of people not giving it a shot, and they should, like, don't get it twisted. Both of the Villainess shows that I'm watching this season, between Level 99 Villainess and 7th Time Loop the Villainess, are good shows. And while yes, this may not be a comedy like Level 99, I truly believe that the attention that Level 99 got should have been applied to this show. Not me saying it's a bad show, it's very enjoyable, but this show's way better. Like 10 times better, if I'm being honest. Some people don't like it when I compare, but as someone who's watching both of these, it's really weird to me to see, yeah, I guess I get it because it's more of a comedy show. The politics, the romance, the fact that both leads were freaking fantastic. This show deserved 3 times the viewership that it got. I have full live reactions to all these episodes over on my Patreon. Want to see my full and good thoughts to any of these wonderful episodes? They're over there if you're interested. I mean, fireworks make sense, but I do have to laugh. They kind of tease a little bit of what I'm about to talk about, and it's not as bad as, like, if you were to go back to caveman era and show them fireworks. They would either beat you over the head with a club or bow down because you're God. It's not quite to that level, but you do have to consider the fact fireworks really aren't a thing. Big explosions in the sky would be seen as the sky rupturing or them under attack, even if it looks beautiful. Some people would just be like, ooh, that's pretty. The kids, the elderly, the general people, imagine looking out your window in this era and the sky's exploding. As beautiful as it might be, just really consider the fact that they had no idea that was happening. There's one shot in particular where it's like a wide shot of a bunch of people. There's some scared people in the background. Not as scared as I think they probably should have been, but it's a funny thing because, yeah, sure, it's better than them just being blown up like it was pretty much being set up as. But the idea of just, like, imagine, you know, you're just chilling, you're eating your generic plain-ass stew because seasoning is probably too expensive for the common folk, and you look up the window and you're like, holy shit, God hates us. It's like, what would you do in that moment? It's not caveman level of, oh my god, this dude crazy. But still, it'd probably be a little freaky. But I love the idea of how we redirected everything, because the best part of Riche's character is the fact that she's lived 6 other lives, but rather than it being like, oh, we just loop the same life over and over and over and over again, she lived completely separate lives. So she has a lot to pull from, and even if in certain lives she wasn't able to convince this man to go down a different path, not only is she in a much more powerful position, she has extra experience since those moments, because it's not just like, oh, this was the dude from my previous life. Like he was in the 3rd life, I think, right? 3rd or 4th in that area. So she has a lot more knowledge. She knows how to make fireworks, you know, how she can come up with these ideas. And the way we did this was so beautiful. I mean, he was about to get thrown into the torture chamber because, you know, Theodore doesn't really have the authority to overstep on, like, the top general of an army. But then when Big Boy Arnold comes in, well, that's when he has to listen to Daddy. And it was great. It really was. I love the idea that the core message of this wasn't necessarily about having to protect this professor, this experimenter, right? It was about, yes, we wanted to, but it was the biggest thing, because if we couldn't change someone like him, how do we change someone like Arnold, who views a lot of his skills as death and destruction? The core message and theme being, just because something can be used in a deadly way doesn't mean it has to. That there's other implications, other uses, and beautiful ways to do this. And because of that, that's why you can leave a season like this, never having another episode, even if you got a season 2, even if you didn't get a full adaptation, you believe Arnold is going to eventually reach a peaceful path. That this is 7th time loop for a reason. This isn't going to be 8th time loop, 9th, no, it's, you feel like this is the one. They'll build a beautiful, loving relationship, and she'll be able to keep him in check, not because he doesn't know what he's doing, it's just, he needs that guidance, he needs that, because he keeps swerving, he keeps detouring, but if we can keep him on the straight and narrow, the possibilities of him as a king are endless. He could lead, like, he could be like the King Arthur of this world in terms of such a good leader, right? It's just, we need to keep him on that path. And the ring scene was fantastic, right? Because, I mean, there's no other way to put it. She was Niagara Falls between her legs. She was swooning. She couldn't breathe. She's like, Lord have mercy. She was red as a cherry tomato, and this man loved it. Kissing her ring finger, got on one knee. Like, how can you not ship these two? Like, they are just so perfect together. And I said it a week or 2 ago. Like, when you really consider that this show started off with him stabbing her in one of those lives, to being at this point now. How they managed to do this in 12 episodes, I don't know, but brilliant. And the best part about this show, like, unironically, is the wardrobe and the detail to the background. Like, the fact that Riche constantly will change dresses, like, she has different fashion statements. Like, even though the dress she was wearing during the whole romantic scene kind of looked like a clown dress from the front, the fact that she actually changes her wardrobes and, you know, there's a lot of detail, it's just not flat and boring and static like so many of these shows would normally be. It's brilliant. But let me know what you thought of the last episode of 7 Time Loop. Do you want to see a season 2? Let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring the bell so you can get notified when I upload more. And hey, like I mentioned, we have a full live reaction to all these wonderful episodes over on my Patreon, and while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we got Stephen Thomas, Danny0119, Marion James E. Posada, Brian, Emil Edberg, and Azoff Montgomery. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. Have a good one.